about Zack Irvin and his summer and fall in terms of getting ready to take that next step as a player?
Yeah, I think that he has really worked. When you see him in the workout right now, and I think you guys saw a little bit this summer, you'll see a different athleticism that you saw from last year. He's really worked hard with John Sanderson. John, again, deserves so much credit for not only his ability to develop these young men, but the way he does it, and in the with the relationship he built with them. So I think you'll see a difference there. His shooting is. We wanted his shooting to be just as accurate as was last year, but he'll obviously get a lot more opportunities, be a lot more volume to his shots. But he's making good progressions in every area.
Obviously, you and point guards had a long personal relationship. Last year, when you first were getting used to Derrick, I mean, were you kind of careful about how you coached him, and then this year, can you be more aggressive with him because you know him better?
Yeah, that's always a thing that. Knowing your relationship with that player, you just can't like jump into a guy and just say, okay, you're going to do it my way or the highway. You got to find out how he responds. And he's been very coachable. But I see him, our relationship off the court continues to evolve as one of, hey, we're in this thing together. How can I help you, et cetera. And Spike and I of course, have a great relationship, but it wasn't built in one year. It was built over now the third year. So it is really nice for me to go out and coach those two guys every day, because there isn't one bit of any uncoachable traits in either one of them. They just want to get better, and they have the team first. But I will tell you, I'm encouraging both of them to shoot the ball more. So when they throw up, I may not be happy with some of them, but I'd rather have them do that than not be aggressive with the ball.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, Derrick was able to get a lot of his offense going off the ball last year. How has he handled kind of facilitating the offense?
He'll be one of the primary ball handlers. Obviously, Caris will be a primary ball handler too, and Spike. But we're putting him in a lot of situations that we put Trey Burke in the past. When Trey was there, he was so good at what he did, and Caris LeVert was not playing as much. He got majority of them. I think there'll be a pretty even split about who's in just those opportunities. But Derrick and Spike will be running the team, and they will be in our quarterback clubs. They will know the game plan, and they will try to execute it, obviously, depending on what the defense shows us.
John, to follow up a little bit on Ryan's question about leadership, is Caris somebody that you anticipate becoming more vocal both on and off the court this year? Did you start to see signs of that, I guess, last season?
There's guys that if they're not comfortable being vocal, they may not help. And I would say he's not comfortable. He's just not going to be like the Zach Novak, not going to be a guy that's going to really jump in somebody's face, which Zach was very happy to do several times. But you can still get it across. His effort every day and his attitude of being coachable and his effort every day speaks volumes for who he is. And he's always been that way, but now as one of the veteran players, our guys are watching him, and that's where I wanted to get this program too, where it wasn't just the coaches teaching, they just saw it. And I'm sure that he also will be, if we're tough on a kid someday, I'm sure he's got his arm around some guy on the way to training table saying, all right, so you learned this today, but it's not a leadership. There's many ways to lead. Many ways, and Caris has a really good method of leading.
We'll close today. We'll go with Adam and then Ashley.
John, I have regarding Caris, coming off the foot surgery, and just as a coach, have you noticed anything with him? Like maybe he feels like he has a lot of pressure on him, like he wants to perform, or from your side, or what are you expecting out of him?
In the summer, we knew when we went to Europe that after being out of action for 4 straight months, right, there is some work to do. You just can imagine, you practice 2 weeks, you're not going to be where you left off. He's had some really good days. He's had other days where, just like every other player, he had an off day. He's right back the next day saying, I'm fine. So I really haven't noticed anything. All I know is he's consistent with his work ethic and his attitude.
You don't feel like he's maybe putting a lot of pressure on himself?
It was way too early for that. I mean, we're just practicing right now. I mean, he's just trying to do the best he can. That's a good question.